You're watching Ohio Valley Conference Women's Volleyball on ESPN+, coming to you live from Houck Fieldhouse in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Today's match is between the Trojans of Little Rock and the Southeast Missouri State Redhawks. The Redhawks are coached by Julie Yonkis. This is her 14th season here with the team. And your Little Rock Trojans are coached by Van Compton, her 44th season as the coach for Little Rock. Before this match starts, let's look at the keys of the match presented by Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Your SEMO Redhawks want to carry the momentum from last year. They went 2-0 versus Little Rock, and they took all 6 sets. Little Rock had the highest kill percentage of every team last weekend, so they're coming in swinging. They're trying to get it hot. Let's look at the starting lineups for both of the rosters. Your Redhawks have Lucy Arndt, the outside hitter. They have freshman Marin Johnson, Ramiri Gardner, Megan Holder holding it down for the sets, Abby Johnson, Elena Lester, and their libero, Nina Schubert. We look on the other side, the Little Rock Trojans have Dariana Valencia, JC Kennedy, Elena Margarita, Bella Cherry, Kayla Harris, Jayla Fullerton, and their libero, Andrea Roman. Those starting lineups are presented by Explore Evansville, where everything is in reach. Explore Evansville, Indiana. The SEMO Redhawks are coming into this game outscoring their opponents in opening sets 301 to 295. Their key player, Lucy Arndt, leads the team in kills with 150 and 126 dibs this season. For Little Rock, they have Jayla Fullerton. She leads the team in kills by 55 compared to the person in second place. She has 191 kills and 173 dibs. This game is looking to be a good one. In their last 10 games, SEMO is 4-6 and Little Rock is 2-8. SEMO leads the series all time, presented. This is the Redhawks' first action back at Houck Stadium this year. They've unfortunately been away in conference tournaments all year so far, but here they are back at home, and here's the set. The hit. Set up by the setter. Here comes Little Rock giving the point back. The set, the hit. Blocked by SEMO, and there's the first point of the game, ladies and gentlemen. SEMO takes the lead 1-0. There's number 15, Abby Johnson. She comes from Belmont University. She is a graduate student transfer. That's a point to Little Rock, ladies and gentlemen. The score is an even 1-1 here. Here comes the serve. The set, the hit, and that's going to be out. Little Rock goes up 2-1. This is SEMO and Little Rock's 6th all-time meeting. Little Rock is a new team to the OVC. They've only been in the OVC for 2 years, coming from the Sun Belt Conference. Number 2, Andrea Roman up there at the front. The serve, the set. The whistle on the court right here. Another point for Little Rock. They are off to a hot start, 3-1 versus SEMO. Here comes the serve from the Trojans. It's over. Back to Little Rock. Return by SEMO. There's Abby Johnson with the hit that unfortunately does not get over. Little Rock is off to 4 straight points after a SEMO opening start with 1. Abby Johnson with a strong hit. Abby Johnson is 6'5", the tallest player on the court, ladies and gentlemen. Little Rock coming in with the serve again. It's over the net. SEMO gets the hit over. That was Lucy Arndt. Here comes the hit. Coming over for Little Rock. Blocked by SEMO. There it is. That is freshman Elena Lester. She leads the team in blocks, number 24, with another block to start the game. Now the ball is back in SEMO's hands. They're ready to return it back. Let's see what they can do. There's a SEMO point for you. SEMO takes the lead. SEMO tries to take the lead, and they come back 5-3. This is Marin Johnson, freshman, number 4 serving. Ball's over. Here's the hit. Blocked by SEMO. There is another block for Elena Lester and Abby Johnson, both looking like two powerhouse duos right there. The serve comes over. Point SEMO. What a great block by number 24, Elena Lester. You see the SEMO team out there supporting their squad. This is going to be a tie game right here. Little Rock 5, SEMO 5. Here's the serve. It's set up. It's hit over. Hit by Lucy Arndt. That ball is unfortunately going to be out. That brings Little Rock with a score of 6-5, taking the lead. There's Coach Van Compton talking to her team, trying to hype them up, telling them what to do. We got Little Rock back with the serve. It's over. Hit by Lucy Arndt. Over to Little Rock. Coming back to SEMO's way. The ball's on Little Rock's side. They get the set. The hit. What a return by... What a play by Little Rock. They just nicely, gently tip the ball over the net. The score is 7-5 Little Rock. And they're going to bring the serve over again. Here it comes. SEMO return. Ball set. Ball's hit. What a great hit by Lucy Arndt. Could not be returned by Little Rock's defenseman. With another point by SEMO. That brings the game to a tie game, 7-7 in the first set. Here's Libero coming. The ball's set. The ball's hit. Returned by Nina Schubert. Hit by Lucy Arndt. What a great block by SEMO. That is another point for Little Rock, who takes the lead 8-7. Little Rock's making their substitutions. New servers coming in. This is Lauren Foreman with the serve. Returned by Lucy. There's a point for the Red Hawks. What a hit by Ramiri Gardner. Could not be returned by Little Rock. She's got some power behind that swing, ladies and gentlemen. The Red Hawks are going to try and take a lead here. The score is 8-8. It's a tie game. Serving, we have graduate senior Kennedy Johnson. The ball's hit. Little Rock's return it. set up. There's Ramiri again. And the Trojans get it up. They get a return over, but they could not finish the play. SEMO takes the lead, 9-8. That's Ramiri Gardner with 2 straight points. And here comes the serve from Kennedy. The Redhawks have started the season 4-9, ladies and gentlemen. 1-1 in OVC conference play. That's in. And that is a out serve by Kennedy Johnson. Little Rock ties the game up 9-9. And who's that serving for Little Rock? That is Jayla Fullerton. She's going to serve it. Ball's over. The set's up for SEMO. The hit. Return by Little Rock. There's a hit. Set up by the setter. Lucy Arndt with the hit. Blocked by Little Rock. Here's another one. Little Rock Trojans return it, and they get a soft little play in there. They take the lead 10-9 over the Redhawks. See them doing a little celebration over there in the corner. They're getting hyped for the lead. Here comes Jayla with the serve. And that's going to be out. What a good eye by SEMO. Tying the game up 10-10. Who's that serving for SEMO? That is Lucy Arndt. That is their sophomore outside hitter. She's going to bring the serve over. Bump by Little Rock. Here's the set. It's over. And SEMO could not handle that return. Little Rock takes the lead 11-10. Here's Andrea Roman with the serve for Little Rock. The ball's over. SEMO set. Ramiri Gardner with the hit. And now it's set for the Trojans. They bring it over. Lots of soft little hits that are just landing right in the spots that SEMO can't handle. The Trojans are playing with great precision right now. They are up 12-10 in the first set. Here comes the serve. That serve was returned by SEMO. The ball's back on the Redhawks side. Here's the hit. And SEMO could not handle that one. The Little Rock Trojans take another point out of the set. Here's the serve from Roman. Over the net. And that is another Trojans point. Here comes Andrea Roman with another serve, trying to get a 5th straight point for the Trojans. That one was short. Could not make it over the net. There's a point for SEMO, and they are going to try and take this lead back. They send back Ramiri Gardner out there to serve. Let's see what kind of power she has. Serves over. What a save from the Trojans there. Sets over for SEMO. That's a great hit. Returned by the Trojans. It's coming back, and that is out. That is a point for the Redhawks. 14-12. Ramiri Gardner with the serve. Set up for the Trojans. Soft little hit over. Returned by the Redhawks. The set's up. Hits over. What a play by the setter. Everyone thought she was setting it up, but she went for the point. That is 15-12 Little Rock's direction. And it looks like we have a timeout on the court. Little Rock is coming from the Sun Belt Conference here. They are All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go to break here.
Competitive excellence, energized fans, community involvement, sportsmanship, student-athlete success in and out of the classroom. That's OVC leadership, and it isn't new to us. We've been doing it for more than 75 years. It's time to OVC it. The Ohio Valley Conference, fiercely independent since 1948.
When you're the leader in disaster cleanup and restoration, how do you make like it never even happened happen?
Fire it up, Randy! Yeah! By being prepared for anything!
Whatever comes your way, there's a pro for that.
Serve Pro, like it never even happened.
We'll bring it back here to Houck Stadium. We watch a replay right here. Oh, look at that set from number 11 on the Trojans. That was just beautiful. Textbook plays right there. That's why they're leading 16-12 in the first set. Trojans are going to try to take their lead off. Here's the serve. Set up for SEMO. There's the hit. Ball is still in play. They get 3 more hits. It's on the Trojan side. Ball's up. Could not be returned by SEMO. It was tipped on the line, but they couldn't get it back. 17-12 in the Trojans' favor. The Trojans are going to bring the serve back over as SEMO tries to come back. They set it up. Wow, another short play for the Trojans. They are absolutely destroying the Red Hawks on that here in the first half. First set. Here's number 3, Dariana Valencia. She has served 3 in a row. She looks to make it her 4th. Hit's over. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. SEMO has got another point. That makes the score 17-13 in Little Rock's way. We got Megan Holder here for SEMO. She's going to bring the serve over. Let's see if she can bring this lead back. Trojans with the set, the hit. And here's another hit for SEMO. It's a little high, but the Trojans could handle it. It's coming back. Here comes SEMO. They're coming back. Oh, there is a soft hit by Lucy Arndt that just lands in a spot that the Trojans did not have covered. There's a point. Score is 17-14, and the Red Hawks are going to look to capitalize on that. The serve's coming over. Big set, big hit, blocked by SEMO, but it went out of bounds, did not land in bounds. So that is going to be a point for the Trojans. They get the ball back. 7 points till the end of the set. Trojans are looking to capitalize here and take more of a lead. The serve's over. Set up by SEMO. Hit's coming over. It's being returned by the Trojans. The set's up. The hit. Out of bounds. That is a point for the Red Hawks. Score is 18-15. And that is Kaylee Close coming in for the Red Hawks, a graduate senior. She's coming in to serve. Let's see what she can do for the Red Hawks. Both teams looking solid so far. It's looking to be a grueling match. The serve. There's the bump. There's the set. There's the hit. Blocked by SEMO, but that unfortunately went out of bounds, so that is point Little Rock. 19-15 is your score here. Little Rock looks to capitalize on this hit. Elaney Margarita's here back to serve for the Trojans. Ball's on the court. She's going to have to give it a second before she brings it over. And here's the serve from Elaney Margarita. Ball's over. Bump by SEMO. Set by SEMO. There's the hit by Abby Johnson. Now it's coming back. And that is another Trojan point. That ball was tipped at the line and went out of bounds. SEMO could not play that one. And there is another timeout. We are going to go ahead and send this one to the break.
Wherever you are, subscribe to the Southeast Missourians for unlimited access to SEMissourian.com and SEMOBall.com.
No, they're not in rolled off of the table.
You are watching Ohio. Here we are back in House Stadium for the action. The score in the first set is 20-15 in the Trojans' favor. Delaney Margarita is going to bring the serve over for the Trojans. It's hit. It's being returned by SEMO. Abby Johnson with the hit, blocked at the line, set over, back on the Red Hawks side, and that is an out-of-bounds hit. Unfortunately, Abby Johnson could not get over there. She made an effort, but she could not get over there. Little Rock takes the point, 21-15, Trojans behavior. The Trojans are coming out strong in this set so far. They're hitting. They're blocking, they're returning, they're doing everything the coach is asking them to do. And that serve from Eleni Margarita was out. SEMO takes a point. That is 16-21, still in the Trojans' direction. This is going to be Nina Schubert serving. She brings it over. What a serve. That is 21-17 SEMO's way. What a great serve by the libero, Nina Schubert. Here comes the serve from number one. And that one was short. Just couldn't make it over the net. Great serve on the previous play. That one, we'll see improvements later in the game. It is 22-17 in the Trojans' direction. Here comes number 11, Kaylee Smith, to make the serve for the Trojans. She is a Little Rock native herself, one of the only few on the team. The serve's over. Returned by SEMO. Sets up for the Trojans. The hit. Returned by SEMO. Set up on the Trojans side again. Here's another hit. Great digs over here by the Red Hawks. Abby Johnson with the hit. Set up by the Trojans. Ball's coming over. And that is a point for the Red Hawks. There was a penalty by the Trojans on that play. This is Kennedy Johnson with the serve. She's going to bring it over for the Red Hawks, who try to make a comeback at the end of the first set. Sets up on the Trojan side. Ball's over. Could not be returned by Schubert. That is the OVC's Defensive Player of the Week. She's been playing fantastically this year, just unfortunately could not return that. The score is 23-18 in the Trojans' behavior. Serves over. And there's the hit. Great hit by SEMO. The score is 23-19 in the Trojans' way. Lucy Arndt's going to go back there for the Red Hawks to make the serve. The ball's up. The ball's over. Bumped by the Trojans. Set by the Trojans. Hit by the Trojans. It's on the Red Hawks' way. And that is another Trojan point. It is 24-19, game point for Little Rock. Their libero, Dariana Valencia, is going to try to finish this set off for him. Give him a good start. The serve's over. It's hit up. Schubert. Johnson. Great hit. Set up by the Trojans. Wow, Schubert with a diving play. The hit for the Trojans. Laid up softly, but SEMO was ready that time. Here's a hit. Ramiri Gardner with the point. That's going to make the score 24-20 for the Red Hawks, trying to make a late first set comeback. Let's see if they can do it. And herself, Ramiri Gardner, who just made that play, is going to be subbed out for number 8, Holland Gilliams, to try and make a comeback for the end of the first set. Here's the serve. The Trojans with the hit. Blocked by SEMO, but that was not in bounds. That is the end of your first set, 25-20 in Little Rock's way. You're watching the Ohio Valley Conference on ESPN+.
Congratulations to Maddie Schubert for volleyball and Nancy Open of football for being this week's Student Athletes of the Week. Presented by Montgomery Bank. Visit SEMO.
Little Rock comes into this match 1-0. Let's go ahead and look at the series history between these two teams. The series history is presented by ServPro, the official restoration services partner of the OVC. This is the Little Rock Trojan and SEMO Red Hawks' 6th all-time meeting. SEMO leads the series 4-2, and their last meeting was a 3-0 sweep for SEMO that happened on October 30th, 2023, here at Houck Stadium in Cape Girardeau. Little Rock is only coming to SEMO for the 3rd time in history as they are a new member to the Ohio Valley Conference. Let's take a look at the highlights from the first match. And there's the hit from the Trojans. Hit over, blocked by SEMO. The Trojans had a great first set where they were dominating on the dominating with the plays. They were diving on the court. Effort just looked way better than the Red Hawks. They made very many smart plays. They were hitting it soft, putting it in positions where the Red Hawks were not ready for it. But the Red Hawks are going to learn from that and try to improve for the rest of the game. There's lots of hard hitters in this game. You got Jayla Fullerton for the Little Rock Trojans. You got Lucy Arndt for the Red Hawks. Lots of blocks going on. Lots of plays at the net. This is going to be a great second set and a great match. Let's go ahead and get it started with the Little Rock Trojans serving. Here's the serve from the Trojans. Dig by SEMO. There's a set by Abby. Lucy hits it over. And SEMO starts to set off with the very first point. They're going to get the ball back, and they're going to see what they can do with some serves. Here is Lucy Arndt, number 2, with the serve to try and get the second set started. And that was out. She just put a little bit too much on that one, a little bit too much oomph on that one, a little bit too much time in the weight room that she's been spending. And the Little Rock Trojans are going to go ahead and get the ball back. Here's the serve. That one is also out. Wow, these ladies came out firing this match. 2-1 SEMO. And here's libero Nina Schuberth to bring the ball over. The serve from Schuberth. 3 straight over serves. These ladies have been working out a ton this week preparing for this game, between this big rivalry between Little Rock and SEMO. But Little Rock gets the ball back. Here's the serve by them. This one lands in. Return by SEMO. Ramiri Gardner with the hit. She is playing fantastic this game so far, leading the team in hits. That is number 7, Ramiri Gardner. And SEMO takes the lead in the second set. SEMO's going to have to try and keep this momentum up. They don't want to go down 2-0. Here's the serve. Turn by the Trojans. Great hit, great return by SEMO. Here's the hit by Maren Johnson. That is a freshman, number 4, and that makes the score 4-1 in the Red Hawks' behavior. Here's the serve from Kennedy Johnson. Return by the Trojans. There's the set. There's the hit. And it was too short. Trojans could not handle that serve. The score is 5-1 in the second set for the Red Hawks. Johnson is a graduate student here at Southeast Missouri State. The serve is over. Nikki Schuberth with a diving play. And unfortunately, Maren Johnson just hits a little bit too much power on that. There is a point for the Little Rock Trojans. They're going to try and get this set back. They're going to try and make a little comeback here. Slow start, not the start that they asked for, but they can handle that with a 1-0 lead in the match so far. Here's number 11, Kaylee Smith, with the serve. Ball's over. And it did not make it over. She could not get that one over the net. That is going to be another point for the Red Hawks. Red Hawks look to capitalize on the strong start that they are having so far in this set. They're going to bring out Kayla Claze with the serve. The ball's up for the Trojans. What a powerful and strong hit by the Trojans. They're going to get the ball back, right back in this one. Here's their outside hitter, Jayla Fullerton, to come back and serve. Jayla, number 15, is trying to add more points for the Trojans. The ball's coming over. Return by SEMO. Sets up, hits up. What a strong and powerful hit. The libero over there handled that one, and they brought it back in play. Wow. Back on the Trojan side. Ball's up. Hit over to the Red Hawks. What a strong hit by Arndt. Another one. She gets blocked 2 times in a row, but that one goes out of bounds. The Trojans made a fantastic play on that one. Playing it, I'm not sure where they played that one from. It was coming from maybe off the wall. Here's Ramiri Gardner with the serve. Returned by the Trojans. The set's up. The hit's up. Blocked by SEMO, but still on the Trojan side. Here's another chance for the Red Hawks to get a nice hit. Lucy Arndt blocked at the net. Sets up. A soft little roller for SEMO. They get that point. You saw Little Rock doing that in the first match. SEMO took a note out of their book, and they are up 8-4 in the second set. Here's Ramiri Gardner with the serve. It's up. Set by SEMO. Hit by SEMO. Hit by the Trojans. It's on the Red Hawks side. The ball's in the air. Lucy Arndt with the hit. Blocked at the line, but that one lands on the Trojan side. That is another hit for Lucy Arndt and another serve point for Ramiri Gardner. Right now she looks to get another one after this timeout. You're watching OVC Women's Volleyball here on ESPN+.
Are you ready to take your money to new heights? Get a flexible high-yield checking account that lets you customize your interest rate so you can keep your finances headed in the right direction. With Elevate Checking from United Fidelity Bank, you're in control of how much you earn. You can raise your rate with a few easy steps. Get more ways to earn more with Elevate Checking and start earning 4.00% APY. Learn more at unitedfidelity.com/elevate or visit your local banking center.
If you want to make the most of your vacation, there's no better place than the Bluegrass State. Kentucky's 44 state parks offer abundant places to play and diverse accommodations to stay. Take a hike, float your boat, or bike the trails. Pitch a tent under the stars or settle into a lakefront lodge. Tee up for 18 holes. Then enjoy a signature meal. Plan your trip at parks.ky.gov.
Bring it back to Houck Stadium. There's your SEMO coach. We bring it back to Houck Fieldhouse. There's your coach, Julie Yonkis, for the SEMO Red Hawks. This is her 14th season with the team. And she's looking to lead SEMO for another dominant win against Little Rock that they have held in their career. The serve was just short by Gardner, and it's going to give the ball right back to the Trojans. Trojans look to make a little bit of a comeback in this set. Here's Dariana Valencia with the serve. Bumped by SEMO, set by SEMO. Returned by the Trojans. And there is no communication there. That is all right. They could not return that one. SEMO takes the lead 10-5. I'm sure coach is a little bit angered at that one. You got to have good communication out there on the volleyball court. SEMO looks to capitalize on this lead. Ball's in the air for the Trojans. Soft hit. Set up. Arndt. Put up by Lester. Put up by Lester again. And there was a lot of play up at the net. The ball was going back and forth, but SEMO cannot handle that one. That is a point for the Trojans. Here's a serve for the Trojans. The ball's over. Set up and hit by SEMO, still on their side. Back on the Trojan side. They hit the ball over, and it was just too short. That is a point for the Red Hawks, making the score 11-6 in the second set. The Red Hawks are hype about that one. A lot more hype than they were last set. They're hoping to make a little bit of a comeback here in this match. Here's sophomore Lucy Arndt with the serve. handled by the Trojans. Still at the line, and that is another Red Hawks point. The Trojans could not handle that entire play. Lucy's got a powerful serve, and she's going to look to bring another one right here. Serves over. Set by the Trojans. Nikki Schubert with the return. Abby Johnson in the air. And there's a point for the Trojans. They played that one fantastically. Nina Schubert, unfortunately, could not handle that one. And the serve is coming from the Trojans. Ball's up. Dig by SEMO. The hit by SEMO. Blocked at the line. But the ball's still in the air, and that is going to be a Red Hawks point. That ball was blocked at the line, but Abby Johnson prevailed, and she got the play. They're celebrating that one on the sidelines as number 24, freshman Elena Lester, comes out. Here's Schubert with the serve. And that one is short again. That is her second short serve of this match. SEMO still leads 13-8 over the Trojans. Elena Margarita is the one serving for the Trojans. With the return by SEMO. And Ramiri Gardner gets stuffed at the line by number 15, Jayla Fullerton. The Trojans are looking to come back in this one. That makes the score 13-9 in the second set. Here's the serve. Powerful hit. Ball's back on the Trojan side. They get a hit, and that one was tipped by Abby Johnson, but the ball went out of bounds, resulting in a Trojans point. Here comes Margarita with another serve. Ball's over. Bumped by SEMO. Hit by SEMO. Blocked at the line. They get another opportunity. That one also blocked at the line, but they get another opportunity. Abby Johnson with a strike. The ball on the Trojan side. They bring it over. It's with SEMO. But the point goes to the Trojans. Abby Johnson got blocked at the line, and it went back to the Red Hawks side. The score is 11-13. The Trojans are making a little bit of a comeback this set. Right behind Margarita serving. Margarita brings another serve. Return by SEMO. There's the set. There's the hit by Arndt. What a powerful strike right there. She killed that one. Nobody even touched it on the return. Lucy Arndt, an absolute beast. Team leader in kills. She's been playing fantastic. And that is a point for SEMO. The Trojans called that one a timeout after that one to discuss it. Score is 14-11 right now in the second set. Little Rock took the first set over SEMO, and SEMO looks to take the second set. In their last two matchups, Little Rock did not get a single set, so this is their first set win in 2 years in their matchups versus SEMO. SEMO's probably not too happy about that one, but they're looking to get it back. They're looking to capitalize, and they're looking to win. We get a closer look to the Red Hawks huddle, and there is the Trojan huddle led by Coach Compton. Assistant coach Jorge Martinez over there for them as well. As we look at an old play from this game, wow, just what a hit from Arndt. Nobody was expecting that one to go in, and she still got it done. Coach Yonkis sends her team back out there in the middle of the second set to hopefully capitalize on this lead that they have right now and take down the Trojans in set two of this game. Here comes Eleni Margarita, still serving, ready to bring it over to the Trojans. Nina Schubert with the return. The hit by Maren Johnson. Back on the Trojan side. Here's a hit. Blocked by the line. Schubert with the dig. Johnson with a hit. Could not be returned by the Trojans. What a great play there by the Red Hawks. And that brings your score 14-12 Red Hawks direction. Kennedy Johnson back there to serve. The ball's coming over. It's going to be returned by the Trojans. They get a hit up. And they leave it soft again. Schubert with a diving stop. Here comes the Trojans. The hit. Powerful. Absolutely powerful. What a strong strike by Jayla Fullerton. SEMO could not handle that one. That brings your score to 13-14. Still in the Red Hawks direction. Red Hawks don't want to let the Trojans slip in here and make a little comeback. They want to keep their lead as far away as possible. Trojans, on the other hand, they want to get up in there and they want to take this lead over. Here's Kaylee Smith with the serve. Here's a hit for the Red Hawks. Handled by the Trojans. They blocked it at the line, but that ball was tipped, and that ball went out of bounds. That brings your score to 15-13 in the Red Hawks' direction. Here's Close. Trojans try to return it. Hits up. Schubert with the diving play, and that ball is out of bounds. Point Little Rock. The Red Hawks made a lot of effort on that play. Nina Schubert, the libero, diving on that one, but could not make the stop. Little Rock's going to get the ball back here. That is Jayla Fullerton to make the serve. Here's the serve. The hit. Lucy Arndt. Wow, what a stop. The ball was on the Red Hawks side. Now it's on the Trojan side. Ball's in the air. Here's the hit. Blocked at the line, but that was a Trojan point. That is a tie game here in the second set. 15-15. What a play that one was. What a stop by Kennedy Johnson for your Red Hawks. Leaving her hand out there, making the play at the last second. Here's a serve on this one. Red Hawks get the ball up. Lucy Arndt with another strike. But that one just had a little bit too much on it. Just a little bit. And the Trojans come back this set to take the lead. They started off with a deficit, but with strong determination, they've made it. It's 16-15. Here's Fullerton with another serve. The ball's up for the Red Hawks. They returned it. Divers on the play. Another short hit. Schubert with the return. Here's a hit. This one's still going. Another hit for the Trojans. Red Hawks leave it in the air. Here's a big hit. And that could not be handled by the Trojans. They made a great effort to stop that one. But that's going to be a tie game. Red Hawks come back here to tie it up. And they're going to try to make the serve and make it a lead. Here's Ramiri Gardner, number 7, with the serve. It's up. And that one just barely sneaks it over. That one scrapes the top of the net and drops right in there for a Red Hawks lead. 17-16 SEMO's direction. Gardner got a little bit lucky on this one. She's going to try to get this one fully over. And she does. Here's the Trojans with the return. Jayla Fullerton with insane vertical. And that is another Trojans point. Wow. 2 super strong hits back-to-back by number 15, Jayla Fullerton, and number 13, Vivian Lukemy. Here's the Red Hawks with the serve. They got the point on that last one. And they cannot handle that one. That one's going to be a Trojans point. That makes the score 18-17, Little Rock direction. Little Rock's libero, Andrea Roman, here with the serve to try and capitalize on that point. Serves over. Bumps up. Sets up. SEMO tried to push that one over to the opposite side of the court. Just pushed it a little bit too far, and Little Rock gets another point. Andrea Roman's going to get another chance at this one. She's going to get another serve. It's up in the air. It's going to be returned by the Red Hawks. Here's the hit. Lucy Arndt coming in swinging, coming in hot. That is a Red Hawks point. I would be afraid of that swing if I was on the Little Rock side. Lucy Arndt just cocks her arm all the way back, and it looks like she swings as hard as she can on that one. Looks like she's going to try and do that all match here. The Trojan return. That one's too strong. Too much time in the gym. There's another Red Hawk point. This is Megan Holder for the Red Hawks serving. Here's Holder with the serve. And that one just a little bit right, a little bit long. Point to the Trojans. And they are going to bring in number 3, Dariana Valencia to serve. But not too fast. There's Van Compton, coach of the Little Rock Trojans, talking to her team on the sideline. 44th season for Coach Compton. 44th season. Here's Dariana Valencia. Dariana is from Puerto Rico, ladies and gentlemen. Here's Valencia. Little floater. SEMO returns it. Abby Johnson with a strike. My goodness. That was a behemoth of a play. She just absolutely damaged that ball. I wouldn't be surprised if it was dented. She has got a strike on her, and they're going to put Lucy Arndt back there to come serve for the Red Hawks. Scores 21-19 in the Red Hawks' direction in set 2 here. The serve. It's up on the Red Hawks side again. Lucy Arndt with another hit. Set up for the Trojans. Here's a hit. Wow. Pure power. Sets up. Here's a hit. Fullerton gets that ball tipped, and it lands on the Red Hawks side. Nobody to touch it. Scores 20 for the Trojans, 21 for the Red Hawks, and the Trojans look to make a little run to end this set. The serve coming over. It's a lollipop. Hit for the Red Hawks. That was Maren Johnson with the hit. There's a set. There's a hit. Jayla Fullerton couldn't land it. Ball is still on the Red Hawks side. They get another hit. Abby Johnson blocked at the line. The ball is still in play for the Trojans. Trojans get another hit over. Soft hit, but SEMO was ready for it that time. Abby Johnson with an absolute strike. Precision, ladies and gentlemen. That is how it's done. She puts that in the back left corner where no Trojan defenders were there to defend their side of the court. This is libero Nina Schuberth, number 1, coming back for the Red Hawks to make the next serve. You're watching Ohio Valley Conference women's volleyball here for ESPN+. Here we get a look at the Trojans team, the team huddle, led by Coach Compton. Led by number 9, Kayla Harris. And here we take a look at the whole match. The fans are popping out for the first home game this year at Houck Stadium, Houck Fieldhouse. Here's Schubert with the serve. It's going to be returned by the Trojans. The ball's in the air. Fullerton put too much power on that. What a great eye by the whole Red Hawks roster not touching that ball. And they're going to let their team know. They're hyped. They're celebrating. They're trying to take this set home. SEMO did not give up a single set to Little Rock over their last 2 matchups. I know they're seething that they got that 1-0 lead on the Trojan side. There's Julie Yonkis talking to her assistants, seeing what the game plan is here to get these last 2 points of the set. This week, sophomore defensive specialist Nina Schubert was crowned the Ohio Valley Conference Defensive Player of the Week. Yes, that's right. She was the whole conference's Defensive Player of the Week, the league announced on Monday afternoon. Schubert, a sophomore from Yorkville, Illinois, started at libero in both matches in their last games against Southern Indiana that happened on September 27th and 28th to begin their conference play last weekend. Take a look at a replay right here. Great eye right there by the Defensive Player of the Week, Schubert. Here come the Red Hawks. They only need 2 more points here in the second set to finish this one off. Game's not close to being over, but this battle is. Schubert's back there. Defensive Player of the Week, by the way. Here's the serve. Returned by the Trojans. The hit blocked at the line. Schubert with the set. Here's another hit. And the Trojans cannot handle that one. That leaves the score 24-20 in the Red Hawks' favor. Schubert is going to try to end this set off to tie the match up 1-1. Little Rock's up 1-0. Here's the serve. It's over. It's returned by the Trojans. And it's blocked at the line, but it's still on their side. Ball's still in the air. The ball is still live. The Trojans try to keep it alive, and they do. It's in play. Schubert with the return. A hit by SEMO. Abby Johnson blocked at the line. Ball's still in play. Here it comes. Still on the Red Hawks side. Sets up. Here's a hit by Johnson. And that one is still returned, still in play by the Trojans. Kayla Harris with the return. Hits up for Abby Johnson again. She goes for 3 straight. The Trojans are seeing what she's throwing at them. Ball's up. Setter leaves a nice one in there. And that is a hit by Jayla Fullerton. What a play, what a rally, and that's a point for the Trojans, making the score 21-24 in Little Rock side. Here's Elena Margarita once again with the serve. She's been killing it today. She looks to make an end of the set comeback. Here's a set for the Red Hawks. Abby Johnson with a nice little hit, and they were not ready for that. 6'5" Abby Johnson. They were ready for a kill over the top, but she just laid it over there. As the sides will switch sides and prepare for the third set. You're watching OVC Women's Volleyball here on ESPN+. We're back at Houck Fieldhouse where we are going to take a look at the match after 2 sets. This is presented to you by United Fidelity Bank. United Fidelity Bank, serving their community since 1914. In the first set, Little Rock took the dub 25-20, but in the second one, SEMO came on top 25-21. We're going to go ahead and look at some news and notes over to OVC. Western Illinois is leading the nation with 19.43 digs per set. You look at Lindenwood. Lindenwood has 5 players who have recorded 100 kills this season. They've registered 913 digs in 47 sets plays. And you look at the OVC Volleyball Championship. This year's event is set for November 24th through the 26th. It's that weekend. The top 8 teams qualify for the championship, and this event will be held on the campus of the number 1 seed home. We look at Houck Fieldhouse for the matchup between the Little Rock Trojans and the Southeast Missouri State Redhawks. Here's a look back at set 2. Absolute effort coming from both sides. We're seeing ladies dive on the floor. There's the hit from SEMO. Lucy Arndt has looked fantastic this game. She has been crushing it. So has Jayla Fullerton for the Trojans. There she is on that one. She is just looks about like 75 inches in the air when she jumps. Tied 1-1 after 2 sets. SEMO looks to capitalize. The Trojans look to capitalize as that is their first set win against SEMO in 2 years. Abby Johnson, a transfer student, is her first year at SEMO, killing the game. There she is on that one. Just look at that play. Absolutely beautiful. The whole team thought it was out, but it was not. Jayla Fullerton also killing the game for the Trojans. As both teams come out of their huddle, ready to get a start to this beautiful match going on so far. This is going to be the 3rd set. It is tied 1-1, not in favor of anybody so far. SEMO likes how they played in that 2nd set. The Trojans liked how they played in that 1st set. As you look at the Redhawks huddle right here, led by Coach Julie Yonkis. Headlined by outside hitter number 2, Lucy Arndt. Lucy was the freshman of the year in the OVC last year. And she's just absolutely killing it so far this game. If you look on the Trojan side, you have Kayla Harris. You have Andrea Roman. You have Dariana Valencia. You have Bella Cherry. And you have J.C. Kennedy. You look on the Trojan side, you see Bella Cherry, number 8. Bella Cherry's father was drafted to the NFL, ladies and gentlemen. He was a New York Giants lineman back in 1997. As we look to begin the 3rd set here at Houck Fieldhouse, the ball is going to be given to the Redhawks first. Little Rock 7-8, SEMO 4-9, both looking to get another win. Here's the serve. And that first serve could not be handled by the Trojans. SEMO's going to start the 3rd set off with their first point. Libero Nina Schubert is back in the game. Holder with the serve. It's up for SEMO. It's on the Trojan side. Schubert with the return. Lucy Arndt with the hit. Bodies on the ground. It is still in play. Here's the Redhawks. What a strong hit by Lucy Arndt. Unfortunately, a little bit too strong for her. That is going to tie the game up at 1-1 in the 3rd set.
Now serving for the Trojans, number 9.
Here's Kayla Harris. The serve coming to the Redhawks. Nina Schubert gets on the ground to get that one. The hit's up. Lucy Arndt was stuffed on that one. That is a rare sight to see, so don't forget you just saw it. Here's Kayla Harris. She's going to bring another serve over. The score is 2-1 in the third set. Ball's up, sets up. Lucy Arndt, oh, she was mad about that last block, and she puts it right into the chest of the server, Kayla Harris. That evens the score up at 2-2. Van Compton over there gives the team a little encouragement. There's Arndt back there to serve, number 2. She brings the ball over. It's on the Trojan side. Sets up. Bella Cherry gets a fantastic hit. And there's Lucy Arndt. The ball's on the Trojan side. It's still in play. Cherry stuffed at the line, and that is a Red Hawks point. The score is 3-2. Freshman Elena Lester still in the game. She leads this team in blocks. That is number 24, Elena Lester, a freshman, leads the team in blocks. Here's Arndt with the serve. What a play there by Cherry. She just absolutely lays it in like a floater in basketball. Schubert could not handle that one. And that's going to even it up again in the third set. The score is 3-3 in the third set. Here's Margarita looking to take Little Rock on a lead. Wow, she got up there. That was Lester, the freshman, the team leader in blocks. Also a track team member. That's right, number 24, Elena Lester, on the volleyball and the track team. Wow, that girl is athletic. Here's Schubert with the serve to try and take this match to a better point. Looks like the Trojans here are talking to the ref. We got a substitution issue. Assistant coach Jorge Martinez talks to his team. Maybe telling them how to handle Lucy Arndt's big old strong spikes. Here's a look at the SEMO huddle. Coach Yonkis giving her team some encouragement. Score is 4-3 here in the third set, and the Red Hawks side, the Red Hawks favor. Both teams looking to capitalize on this third set. The score is 1-1, so whoever gets this lead might have an advantage, one would say. Here come both teams. Both teams looking like they're ready to play. Back on the court. Here's the hit from the Trojans. Blocked at the line by Abby Johnson, but it was not in bounds. That is going to be a Trojans point. Here's a serve from the Trojans. Serve is coming from Kaylee Smith here. Smith with the serve. Returned by the Red Hawks. Once again, just a little bit of miscommunication here from the setter and the hitters. That's all right. They'll get over that one. And the score is 5-4, and the Trojans favor. Smith with the serve. Red Hawks set it up. They bump it up. Maren Johnson with the hit. Absolutely strong hit. Little Rock was diving, but that one just missed the line. It went out of bounds for a Trojan point. Here's Kaylee Smith with her third straight serve. Let's see what she can do with this one. Brings it over. Just a little bit short. That's going to be a Red Hawks point. Could not make the third straight serve hit. The Red Hawks are going to have Kennedy Johnson in there serving. That is Kennedy Johnson. Here's the serve. It's being returned by Little Rock. The hit. Wow, she got 80 inches in the air. Thought she was going to hit it down, but she just set it up there. What a smart play. Little Rock gets the ball back. And there she is, Jayla Fullerton, the one who just made that play, back there to serve. Here it is. Absolute hustle from the Red Hawks to get there. Ball's over on the Red Hawks side again, and that is Jayla Fullerton with another point for herself. She is showing out in this set, showing everything that she can do. Her skills are on show. Here's Fullerton with the serve. The hit by SEMO into the chest of Little Rock. They're diving, but they could not handle that one. That was great hustle by the Trojans to get over to that ball, but they could not keep it in play. That is going to be a point for the Red Hawks. The score is 8-6 here in the third set. This is going to be Kayla Lose here to serve. Here it is. Sets up for Little Rock. The hit. Plays beautifully the other side of the court. Nina Schubert had to make a diving play on that one and unfortunately just reached over the net on her dive. So that is going to be a point for the Trojans. The violation called by the line judge. Little Rock gets the ball back with a score of 9-6. Looking to get their 10th point here with this serve. See what Dariana Valencia can do. Excuse me, that is Andrea Roman. And she is short with the serve. That is going to bring the ball back to the Red Hawks. And back to Ramiri Gardner, who hopefully can set the tone for the Red Hawks. The ball's over. It's up there by Fullerton, and that one just sails out a little bit. Fan almost grabbed it. And the Red Hawks get another point, making the score 9-8. Ramiri Gardner's going to get another chance to serve here. The ball's over. And that one goes out. That is going to be a Trojan point. Here comes Schubert back in the game for the Red Hawks. Valencia back in the game for the Trojans, and she's going to go back there to serve. That is Dariana Valencia back there to serve for the Little Rock Trojans. The score is 10-8 here in the third set. Ball's over. Sets up for SEMO. And that one was blocked by Little Rock right at the line. Great defense right there. Everybody getting their hands up on that line. They're letting Valencia get another serve in. She sends it over. That ball's still on the Red Hawks side. Hits up. Lucy Arndt touched at the line. Ball's up again. Here's the hit by SEMO. Returned by the Trojans. Hits up for the Little Rock. And that one goes out of bounds. That is a Red Hawk point. What a rally on that one. Both teams blocking balls at the line. But a great eye by the Red Hawks to let that one stay out of bounds. That is Abby Johnson coming in for the Red Hawks. Right there, 6'5" at the front of the line, ready to hold it down. Here's the serve from Holder. It's up, it's returned. Trojans get it over. The Red Hawks with the hit. There she is, Abby Johnson, but that is returned by Jayla Fullerton. Ball's on the Red Hawks side. Holder with the set. Arndt with the hit. Returned by the Trojans. It's coming back to the Red Hawks. They're looking for a big hit here. There's Lucy Arndt. Ball was tipped at the line. Play for the Trojans. This is a great rally. It's still going. Abby Johnson with a hit. What a play from Dariana Valencia, the setter for the Little Rock Trojans. What a rally going back and forth. SEMO was expecting another set for another hit, but instead Dariana took it accountable for herself, and she got the point for the Trojans. The score is 12-9 here, and the Trojans look to capitalize. Here's Kayla Harris with the hit. Set for SEMO. There we go. What a play. SEMO gets another point. The score is 12-10 as Kayla Clauset subs out for freshman number 4, Marin Johnson. This is Lucy Arndt back to serve for the Red Hawks. Serves over. It's going to be returned by the Trojans. What a great set. A 10 set they call right there. And that one was in. That is a point for the Little Rock Trojans. Beautiful set. Beautiful hit up on that one for Jayla Fullerton. You can tell they practiced that. Here's Eleni Margarita with the serve. To the Red Hawks. Schubert with the return. Hit by Johnson, and that one stays in. Abby Johnson, an absolute striker up there as right outside hitter. As Ramiri Gardner subs in the game. And Nina Schubert goes back for the serve. As your OVC Defensive Player of the Week with the serve. The set for the Trojans. Returned by the Red Hawks. What a great hit by Ramiri Gardner. Point Red Hawks, making the third set a score of 13-12. The Red Hawks are going to look to tie this game up here, right here, and right now. Starting with Nina Schubert with the serve. What a great serve, and a little bit of hustle there by the Trojans, running and diving on the floor. But that's a tie game here at Houck Fieldhouse. Schubert looking to get her third straight point on serves. Here it comes. Fullerton with an absolute beamer of a hit, but that one just goes a little bit out. That is going to be the score to 14-13 in the Southeast Missouri direction. Schubert with the hit. Oh, and she put a little bit too much power on that one. That's all right, though. Schubert will get that one back later in the game. That is a tie game. Little Rock 14, SEMO 14. Little Rock subs in. Haley Smith to bring the serve over. Smith with the serve. Arndt with the bump. Johnson with the hit. Here's a hit for the Trojans. Fullerton brings to the other side of the court. It's going to be returned by SEMO. Hit by Johnson. Blocked at the line. Trojans still got it. Red Hawks got it right now. They set it up. They get another hit, and that is Abby Johnson with another screamer of a hit. It was touched at the line, but the Trojans still could not handle it. The score is 15-14. You're watching the Ohio Valley Conference Women's Volleyball on ESPN+.
He shoots, and he scores! When you're the leader in disaster cleanup and restoration, how do you make like it never even happened happen? Let it rain, Randy! Woo! Yes! By being prepared for anything! Woo! Whatever comes your way, there's a pro for that.
Serve Pro, like it never even happened.
Bring it back to the Houck Fieldhouse here, looking at your SEMO Red Hawks. Score is 15-14 in their direction as the Trojans take the court again. Led by Coach Compton. Your Red Hawks are led by Coach Yonkis. Both teams taking the court. That was a mid-set timeout here in the third set. Little Rock took the first set here. SEMO took the second set. And they're looking to take two straight. The serve's over. Trojans handle it. coming back, but they could not get that hit over. That is a SEMO point for the lead. They are winning 16-14 here in the third set. Here goes Kennedy Johnson with the serve. Ball's up. Sets up. What a screamer of a hit. SEMO had nowhere where that one was going. SEMO had no idea how to handle that one. That is a point for the Trojans, making the score 16-15 in their favor. This is your Little Rock star, Jayla Fullerton, with the serve. SEMO keeps it up. What a play by the setter. What a play. We've seen that happen multiple times here today. And that leaves the score at 17-15 in the Redhawks' direction. Here comes Kayla Clauset with the serve. Returned by the Trojans. The set's up. Hits up for Fullerton, and she absolutely screams that in Schuberth's direction. Schuberth, the reigning defensive player of the week in the OVC, could not handle that one. Here's the serve by Roman for the Little Rock Trojans. Schuberth with the bump, the set, the hit. Lucy Young got her hand on that one. The Trojans are going to return it. Fullerton's up. It's going to be returned by SEMO again. There's the set. There's the hit. What a great dig right there by the Trojans. Here's another hit. And what phenomenal placement. We had a little bit of miscommunication there on the side for the Redhawks. They didn't know who was going to get that one, but the point went straight to the Trojans. Here's Roman with another serve, looking to get her second straight point in this tie game of the third set. What a fantastic hit by Ramiri Gardner. They weren't ready for that one. She just put it over the net very lightly, very loosely. And she's going to go back there for the serve now. That is number 7, Ramiri Gardner. Gardner is from St. Peters, Missouri, graduating from Fort Zumwalt South High School. She's going to take the serve here to try and capitalize on this SEMO lead that they have. It's a tie game. The score's only up by 1. We got a great match here tonight as Ramiri Gardner looks to capitalize on the lead that they have right now. There's Coach Julie Yonkis celebrating with her team. Always good energy around here for SEMO. They try to stay positive. You see the team celebrating on the sideline every time they get a point. Just a great environment they're building here. As you look at the sideline, you see SEMO's roster. You see the team waving on Gardner. You see Gardner hitting a little dance. The whole team is excited to be here. There's the huddle right there on the court. Both sides huddling. Little Rock talking about what to do to stop Lucy Arndt. SEMO talking about what to do to stop Jayla Fullerton. Lots of game talk going on in the field. Maybe they're talking about what they're getting for food after the game. I don't know. Here's Ramiri Gardner. She's going to bring the serve over in this match with a score of 18-17. She looks to make it 19. Serves up, and that will not make it 19 because she used a little bit too much power on that one. That is a tie game, 18-18. And the serve's going to go back to Little Rock. Entering the game there for Little Rock is Dariana Valencia. And you know what she's in there to do. She's going to come take the serve. Here's Valencia. Real focused here in the third set of this tie game. It's returned by SEMO. Lucy Arndt with the strike. Unfortunately blocked by the Little Rock Trojans. They got both their hands up there. I think that was Bella Cherry and Kayla Harris to block that one. Here's Valencia with the serve. Returned by the Redhawks. Up for Arndt again. That one could not be returned. Lucy Arndt gets real mad when she gets blocked, and she comes back with vengeance in the next play. Score is 19-18. Score is 19-19. It is a tie game. in this tie match of set 3. Here's Holder with the serve. That one was oddly hit, but kept alive by the Trojans. Arndt with the hit, lays it over there. Cherry sees it. It's on the Red Hawks side. It's set up for Johnson, and it is not handled by the Trojans. Johnson with another point. Red Hawks with another point. Game is 20-19. As we see number 11, Megan Holder, back for the serve again. You're watching the Ohio Valley Conference Women's Volleyball here on ESPN+. Bring it back to Houck Fieldhouse, looking at the Red Hawks huddle in a very tight matchup between the Little Rock Trojans and the Southeast Missouri State Red Hawks. The Red Hawks are winning 20-19 in a tie game. The Trojans took the first set, the Red Hawks took the second set, and we're here in the middle of the third set in a tight matchup. It's neck to neck. Here's Holder with the serve. The ball's in the air. Cherry with the hit, blocked at the line, which means it's still alive for the Trojans. The ref blows their whistle, and that is a Little Rock Trojan point to bring this game to a tie. That is 20-20. Both teams got to be a little bit nervous here, trying to keep this game not tied and in their own favor. Here's Harris with the serve. Hit by Lucy Arndt. Looked like Harris made an effort to get that one, but she missed it, and it went out of bounds by the Trojans. So that is a point. 21-20, Little Rock's direction. Here's Kayla Harris to bring another serve over to the Red Hawks. Arndt with the bump. The set's up. Arndt with the hit. Fullerton with another hit. It's up for SEMO. Hits over. That was laid short, and they still kept it in play. The strike by Johnson was landed by the Trojans. The ball is still in the air. We're rallying. Fullerton with the hit. That was out of bounds. That is going to be a point for the Red Hawks. Looks like they made an effort to get that one, but Fullerton just had a little bit too much power. Could not keep it in bounds. SEMO's going to make their rotations. Freshman number 4, Marin Johnson, comes in for the Red Hawks. At the front line, you see Abby Johnson, Elena Lester, and Marin Johnson. They're 3 hitters. And back there serving, you see Lucy Arndt. Here's the serve. Brings it over, and that is just a little bit too much. Lucy Arndt using a little bit too much power on that last serve, giving Little Rock the advantage, making the score 22-21. Kayla Harris brings the serve over. Returned by Schubert. Put up by Holder. Arndt has to bring it over. Sets up. Here's the Red Hawks. Abby Johnson with a hit. Little Rock is returning it every time here. It's on their side again. Here's another hit for the... And the Trojans lose that point, giving it to the Red Hawks. They could not return that last point, and it is a tie game again. We got a tie game, 22-22. in the third set here at Houck Fieldhouse in Cape Girardeau. Here's Schubert with the serve. The ball's up. It's hit by Fullerton, but it's blocked by Johnson. The hit's up again, but it's blocked by Marin Johnson once again. She's a freshman, and she just blocked that ball. It is 23-22 in the Red Hawks' favor. Here is Schubert to bring another serve and hopefully end out this set. As they call a timeout on the court, we're going to send it to commercial here. You're watching Ohio Valley Conference Women's Volleyball here on ESPN+. Bring the game back into Schubert here. This is Nina Schubert, the OVC Defensive Player of the Week. She's going to bring the serve over for the Red Hawks in a match that is 23-22 in the Red Hawks' favor. It's a tie game. This has been neck and neck. Schubert brings the serve over, and it's just short, and Little Rock cannot handle it. That's going to be a point for the Red Hawks, 24-22 in SEMO's direction. That's game point here in the third set. Here's Schubert with the serve. It's over. The Trojans are going to get a hit on it. They lay it up there. It's blocked, but it's still in play here. Trojans got it. Fullerton with the hit, but that goes out. That is a Red Hawks set win. With a final score of 22-25 in the third set, the Red Hawks take the lead 2-1. As both teams switch sides and get out of here. They're going to... What a set there by the Red Hawks. And we're going to send it to commercial break. You are watching the Ohio Valley Conference here on ESPN+. as we bring it back here to Houck Fieldhouse, we're going to look at the upcoming schedules here for the Red Hawks and for the Trojans. For SEMO, we're going to have a tournament here at the Houck Fieldhouse still against Tennessee State on October 4th and October 5th. Next week, they're going to play Missouri on October 9th at 7 p.m. at Missouri. Now let's look at the Trojan schedule presented by Sunbelt Bakery. This weekend they play Morehead State, and next week they play Southern Indiana. Those upcoming schedules are presented by Sunbelt Bakery, the tastiest flavors under the sun. Now we look at the court, we look at Little Rock, we look at SEMO. Upcoming for set 4 here in this neck-to-neck match. SEMO's leading 2-1. Every single match here has been close. All the sets have gone back and forth. There's been tons of bumps back and forth, tons of blocks at the nets, tons of high-flying girls hitting the ball insanely hard. This has been a great match so far, and it looks to be an even better one as we continue. Look at the Red Hawks side. They have 3 attackers who have cooked the 100-kill mark on the season. You have Lucy Arndt, Marin Johnson, and Abby Johnson, who are all 3 above the 100-kill mark. As we look into the 4th set, Trojans got advantage. They got the ball, and they're going to bring it over to the Red Hawks. The Red Hawks return it. The set's up. The hit's up for Johnson. And she just pummels it a little bit too hard. That is a point for the Trojans. They start off the 4th set 1-0. This is a must-win set here for Little Rock. If they lose this one, the match is over. So they're going to come out here firing. They're going to come out here playing hard. Here's the serve. The set's up. A hit for Lucy Arndt. And she absolutely kills that one with no return. It looked like that ball went up, and it went straight down. Lucy Arndt's going to go back there for the serve. Set 4 starts with a tie of 1-1. Here's the serve from Arndt. And she uses a little bit too much power on that one. I think she was still feeling it from that last hit that she had. That is a Trojan point. The score is 2-1 in the 4th set. This is your leading killer for the Trojans, Jayla Fullerton with the serve. Schubert returns it. Abby Johnson with the hit. It's back on the side for the Trojans. It's up. Schubert hits it, gets it over, but it does not stay in. That is a Little Rock point. We'll go ahead and take a look at some stats. Jayla Fullerton, number 15 serving, is leading the team with 13 kills tonight. And here is her serve. The set's up. Number 4, Marin Johnson hits it. It got blocked at the line, but Trojans couldn't keep it in bounds. That is going to be a point for the Red Hawks as Nina Schubert goes back there to get the serve. The hit by the Trojans, handled by the Red Hawks. It sets up Abby Johnson with the hit. Trojans are going to hit it back. Red Hawks keep it in the air. Abby Johnson again. Wow, what a play by Fullerton. The ball's in the air still. The hit's coming over, and SEMO could not handle that one. That is going to be a Trojan point. What a great rally there. Bodies on the floor. You saw Jayla Fullerton diving out there. As the ball goes back to the Little Rock side, and Andrea Roman comes for the serve. Sets up. What a great hit by Ramiri Gardner. Just absolute power on that one. I don't know anybody in the world who's returning that. The score is 4-3, favor of Little Rock, but SEMO gets the ball back for another serve. Number 17, Kennedy Johnson with the serve. It's put up by the Trojans. They lay it up. Marin Johnson returns it. Here's the hit. Just a little bit to the right. That one could not stay in for the Red Hawks. So that is a Trojan point. That was Avery Torrey with the hit for the Red Hawks, just a little bit out of bounds. Here is Dariana Valencia with the hit, with the serve for the Little Rock Trojans. Sets up. And another hit by Gardner. She leaves that one in. That's 2 phenomenal hits to start this set for her. You better leave her in the game. Score is 5-4 in the Trojans' direction, but SEMO gets the serve. That is Kayla Close coming in for the serve. And she's just a little bit short on that one. Could not make it over the net. Little Rock takes the lead 6-4 in set 4. Here's a serve by Little Rock. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, Ramiri Gardner with her 3rd point of this set. They might as well just keep feeding her. She's playing fantastically so far. The score is 6-5, Little Rock's direction, and Gardner's going to get back there for the serve. Here comes the hit. It's going to be returned by the Trojans. The ball's in the air. Lucy Arndt lays it up. Wow, what a diving play by the libero for the Trojans. She absolutely put all her effort out there to get that play, but she could not get the job done as the point goes to SEMO. And there it is. The set is tied, 6-6. Ramiri Gardner with the serve. Trojans will return this one. Bellacherry with the hit, and Gardner could not handle that one. Bellacherry with an absolute strike of a hit as Little Rock takes the lead here in set 4. Here's the hit for the Trojans. Sets up for SEMO. Lucy Arndt with the hit. She cocked her arm back all the way to Yucatan for that one, but she could not get the hit done. It's going to be a point for the Little Rock Trojans as they bring the serve over with a score of 8-6. The set's up. Oh, nobody saw that one coming. That was Kennedy Johnson, ladies and gentlemen. Kennedy Johnson with the fake set there to get the point for the Red Hawks. Kennedy Johnson there with the fantastic dump. What a play. Here's number 11, Megan Holder with the serve. It's going to be returned by the Trojans. Fullerton up with the kill. And that is just over the head of Schubert. She mistimed her slide there, it looks like, and Fullerton puts it in a beautiful spot. The serve is going to go back to the Trojans. They're going to look to take more of a lead than they already have so far in this set. The Trojans looking to get their first win against SEMO at home in Houck Fieldhouse. Here's the serve. The set's up. Lucy Arndt with the hit. Blocked at the line, but it's still in play. And Fullerton just reaches over and tips that down to the SEMO side. That is a point for the Trojans. Kaylee Smith gets the ball back. She's going to try to get another point. SEMO's going to try to return it. They're preparing for the serve. Here it is. Bumps up. Sets up. Lucy Arndt's in the air. That ball went down, but it's still in the air. Coming back for the Trojans. Jayla Fullerton with the return. Lucy Arndt again. Ball's in the air for the Trojans. They hit it over. Set up. Here's a hit for Arndt. And that ball was tipped by the Little Rock Trojans, so that is a Red Hawks point. What a great rally there as Lucy Arndt heads back to serve. She looks to come back and take a lead here in the 4th set. SEMO was up 2-1. They won the 2nd and 3rd set. They got off to a rough start with Little Rock getting the 1st set. Here's Arndt with the serve. And the ball's coming over. Fullerton just a little bit short, blocked by SEMO, but it's still in play. Blocked again by SEMO. And what a hit there by Elena Lester. That is a true freshman. She's playing fantastic today, and she gets another hit as she comes out of the game. The score is 10-9 in favor of Little Rock still. Lucy Arndt is going to get the serve. There's the set. There's the hit. That one goes in just at a Schubert's wingspan, and she could not reach that one for a Trojan point. Little Rock looking to capitalize on this lead that they have so far here, trying to keep the momentum going. Here's a serve from Fullerton. Schubert with the return. The setup for Lester, and Lester puts that in there beautifully. That's going to be a point for the Red Hawks. Here goes Nina Schubert, back to serve. Trying to get another point here on the board for the Red Hawks. Serves up, serves over. Here's the return from the Trojan. Here's a hit. Blocked at the line, but it's still in the air. No, it is not. That is a point for the Red Hawks. Making the score 11-11. Nina Schubert is trying to capitalize on this. Let's see if she can get a lead here. Here's the serve. The hit. Here's the return by the Red Hawks. Schubert with the set. Abby Johnson with the hit, and that is great placement. Number 11, Kaylee Smith does a reverse somersault in her effort to get that ball, but it could not be done. SEMO leads 12-11 here in the fourth set. Your OBC Defensive Player of the Week, Nina Schubert here, back with the serve. She's had 2 in a row. She's looking to get her third one to make this lead a little bit larger. Here it is. In the air. It was hit by the Trojans, but they just missed on that one. Little bit outside. Tried to get a little bit too fancy with it. Here's Schubert with her 4th straight serve. She's putting in the work here. Here's the serve. It's up in the air. Here comes the Trojans. Schubert dives. Arndt get back there. Johnson gets it over. That's 3, and that is a great play for SEMO. Here come the Trojans. And Lucy Schubert, your OVC Defensive Player of the Week, gets an absolute stellar play on that one. She puts her hands up right to her face and saves her serving career. She is still going with that one. Let's look at that one. You just watched number 2, Schubert, right there. Here's the serve. The hit. Schubert gets it in the air. Here's the set by Holder. The hit by Gardner. Wow, she dumps it again. That was just beautifully played. Beautifully done. That's textbooks right there. Gardner with a great play. The score is 15-11 as SEMO, behind Nina Schubert serves, gets a little bit of a lead. And we're going to go to commercial here at this timeout. You are watching the Ohio Valley Conference Women's Volleyball on ESPN+. Come back in here looking at your Red Hawks, who are currently on a 6-0 scoring run. They were down 11-10, but now they're up 15-11. They're looking to take this game with a win, beating Little Rock for the 3rd straight year. They haven't swept them because Little Rock won that first set, but Little Rock's trying to play here. They're not out of it yet. The game is not even close to being over. Schubert with the serve. Is it going to be returned by the Trojans? Yes, it will. What a play by Jayla Fullerton to get into their bench. Marin Johnson with the hit, and that cannot be returned by the Trojans. That is another SEMO point, making their run 7-0 in the last 7 points. That is 16-11 SEMO. Schubert's going to get another serve here. Coach Yonkis yelling at her team, making sure everybody's lined up properly, making sure everybody's calm and collected for the rest of this fourth set. And Schubert leaves that ball a little bit too long. Schubert's trying to get a little bit too strong with it, put it in a smart place, and that is a Little Rock Trojan point, making the score 16-12. The Trojans get the ball back. Let's see what they can do with it. Roman with the serve. It's going to be returned by the Red Hawks. The set's up for Gardner, and Gardner absolutely crushes it in the face of the Trojans. She is crushing all their hopes and dreams right now. She is absolutely laying this ball out there. If you look at the Red Hawks student crowd section right there, and you look at the server, Kennedy Johnson, coming back here to capitalize on that Gardner hit. Johnson gets the ball in the air. Put up by the Trojans. And what a great hit by Kayla Harris there for the Trojans. She puts that ball up and she puts that ball down. And makes the score 17-13, SEMO's direction. It's going to be Dariana Valencia here with the serve. She's trying to make a little comeback here. Lolly pops it up. Here's the set. Gardner couldn't get a point on that one, but a great hit. Returned by the Trojans. That was Bella Cherry with the hit. What a great hit by number 8, Cherry. The score is 17-14. SEMO's direction still, but Little Rock looks to take a lead here. Looks to make a comeback. Here's the serve. Arndt with the first touch. Here's the set to Marin Johnson, who gets another point. Marin Johnson is absolutely showing out here in this fourth set, and she is hyped. She is not afraid to tell you that she's showing out. There's Haley Closet. Excuse me, that is Kayla Closet. I am sorry. Closet with the serve. It's over. Trojans with the ball up. They dump it in there, but Schubert with the diving play gets it in the air. And that is out. That is a Red Hawks point. Wow, the defensive player of the week, Nina Schubert, with a diving show for that one. If we look at that again, there's the dump, and Schubert gets her hand out there. Wow, that was just a fantastic play. As Closet gets another serve here. The Red Hawks lead 19-14, and they're going to take a timeout over there on the Little Rock side. You are watching Ohio Valley Conference Women's Volleyball here with ESPN+. Open back up to your Red Hawks. The SEMO Red Hawks are 10-time OVC regular season champions, 7-time OVC tournament champs. They're looking to have a fantastic year this year, as well as Little Rock is, a newer team to the OVC, formerly known as a Sun Belt Conference champion. The Trojans are back in the OVC this year. And here is number 13, Kayla Closet with the serve. We got set 4 opening up. Here's the hit by the Trojans. The set by the Red Hawks. Lucy Arndt with the strike right into the face of Fullerton for the Trojans. And Lucy Arndt with another kill. What a play there. The score is 20-14 in the Red Hawks' direction in set 4 here. Here's Closet with the serve. And that one just a little bit short. She didn't put enough oomph on that one. I think she just had enough. She had a 3-0 serve going with that one. She wanted to give Little Rock a chance here. And we have Kayla Harris here coming in with the serve. Here's Harris for the Trojans. The bump by Schubert. The set. Gardner tries to dump it. She does not successfully do so. Here's a hit by Fullerton. Still in the air. Hit by Arndt. Blocked at the line. Up by Schubert. Here's another hit by Lucy Arndt. The play's still rolling. The set's up for the Trojans. Fullerton in the air. SEMO's diving. That's 2 hits. They got a third one. What a fantastic play by the Redhawks to keep the ball in the air. Fullerton with another absolute strike, and she gets that one right on the line. What a rally right there. Jayla Fullerton coming out with the cake on that one to get the win of that point. If we look at this, look at the effort here by SEMO as Kayla Harris comes to serve for the Trojans. Ball's in the air. Lucy Arndt, she dumps it down there, and the Little Rock Trojans could not handle that one. They were preparing for an absolute kill from Arndt, but she just put it in there softly. The score is 21-16 in the Redhawks' behavior in the fourth set here. The Redhawks lead 2-1. If they win this set, they can win the match. But Little Rock does not want that to happen. The serve's over, and they could not handle that serve from Amiri Gardner. That's another Redhawk point. That's another serving point for Amiri Gardner, and that's another Trojan timeout. The whole crowd is hype. The whole SEMO bench is hype. And we're going to send this one to commercial. You are watching the Ohio Valley Conference Women's Volleyball on ESPN+. Come back here to the Field House in set 4 of this match between the Little Rock Trojans and the Southeast Missouri State Redhawks. We got number 7, Ramiri Gardner with the serve for the Redhawks. The Trojans keep that ball up. Here's the set. Here's the hit. Returned by SEMO. Ball still in the air. Arndt with another strike. What a play by the libero there on the Trojan side. We're still playing here. It's a great rally. The set's up. Arndt with another hit. And that one just had a little bit too much on it. That is a Trojan point as they look to come back here in the fourth set. They're not going to let SEMO have this one easy. This has been a neck-and-neck match so far. Little Rock won the first set. SEMO won the next 2. And here's the serve. Lester with the hit. It got blocked at the line. Trojans return it. That was Cherry, and Lucy Arndt could not handle that one. That was Kayla Close who could not handle that one. The set by Bella Cherry, and that is another Little Rock point. Here's Margarita with the serve for the Trojans. The ball's over, and that one was greatly placed. Close could not handle that one for a second time in a row. There's a timeout for the Redhawks. That leaves the score in set 4, 22-19. If we look at some stats from this game, your SEMO Redhawks have 53 kills compared to the Little Rock Trojans who have 45. Ramiri Gardner has been playing absolutely fantastic for the Redhawks. She has 11 kills, but the team leader, Lucy Arndt, has 13. If you look at the Little Rock side, you have team leader Jayla Fullerton with 15 kills, and the person in second place would be Kayla Harris with only 9. This has been a fantastic match so far. It's been head-to-head. Both teams have been going back and forth. As we look into the huddle for the Little Rock Trojans, head coach Van Compton, assistant coach Jorge Martinez, talking to their team, telling them what to do, trying to do whatever they can to scrape away a win here. They got to fight. They're down right now. as Coach Yonkis and her Redhawks are up in the fourth set here. They let the Trojans start off with a nice little first set win, but they have not let them get one since. The Redhawks are going to try to finish this one off here at Houck Fieldhouse. For their first home game of the season, the Redhawks don't want to leave their fans going home sad. Score is 19-22, SEMO's favor, and here's the Trojan serve. Lucy Arndt with the hit. The Trojans are going to return this one. And that was a little bit of miscommunication between the setter and the hitter. The Trojans could not return that one. That is a Red Hawk point, making the score 23-19 here in the fourth set. As the refs talk to the players on the court, maybe we got a little sweat, maybe a little blood, maybe some tears. We got something on the court. The refs over there drying it off. As Nina Schubert talks to her team. She's leading them out there at libero. She's had some absolutely fantastic plays today, Nina Schubert. She's been on the ground diving. She's been setting it up. She's done everything for the Redhawks. As they're going to have the serve here on the fourth set against the Trojans. This is the Redhawks' first home game, and here's the serve. The ball's in the air. The set's up. Here's Cherry with the hit, and that was blocked at the line by the Redhawks. The Redhawks were in the air, leaving no room for the Trojans to get a point over as they look at game point here on the fourth set. The bench is ready. The team's ready. Here's the serve from Close. The Trojans return it. Jayla Fullerton blocked by freshman Elena Lester and Abby Johnson. That is a win for your SEMO Redhawks, winning the game 3-1 in the fourth set. The Trojans started the game off with a nice little set win, but they could not get it done. The Redhawks headlined it here, winning 25-19 in the fourth set, also winning the second set and the third set. They take 3 straight to get the win today. For the Trojans, Jayla Fullerton played well, and for the Redhawks, Lucy Arndt and Ramiri Gardner played fantastic as they do a little dance to end this game. I'm Kyler Messenger saying so long from the Houck Fieldhouse in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, where the final match ended with a score of 25-19 in SEMO's favor. SEMO won 3-1 in the set match. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.